Welcome into my two bits. This is First Bites. We are looking at the rapid reaction of our Florida Gators versus the Georgia Bulldogs in the largest outdoor cocktail party, tailgate, whatever have you, something like that along the St. John's. I'm your host, Mr. Randy, along with my other host, Ben. B, how you feeling tonight, my man, after what we just saw?
That was a tough
Yes, I'll
one,
have more of
man.
that.
That was a tough one. Yeah, for real. Cocktail party, you say, huh? Cocktails. Yeah, sounds good. Um,
Yes,
man,
please.
that's a tough way to lose a football game. It's rough. Very happy with the effort for sure. Disappointed in some things certainly. Officials will make that list, but also some other things too. It's not all on them. It is partially on them, but it's not all on them. But yeah, we'll of course get into it here. What are how are you? How's your feelings?
Right now, I'm kind of numb, knowing that we had
Yeah, dude.
opportunities and chances
Yeah,
and opportunities and chances and well,
chances.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's one of those things where you hate to say not again, but yeah, again,
Yeah.
again. You have it. Well,
And
anyways,
again, and again, 20 points. How many times are we going to score 20 points? Oh my God,
well,
it drives
well,
me
well,
nuts.
clearly 6 years in a row, five, whatever the case might be.
Yeah, whatever,
Um,
man. It's rough.
Whatever it is, it is. Well, anyways, with First Bites, we're keeping it concise, nice and simple. Like our regular show and our focus on factual analysis and all things Florida Gator football. Yes, we are going to make it as accurate as we possibly can, citing our sources whenever we use them. All statistical data tonight coming from ESPN, as we're using for the box score. Now, let's get into our opening point B, high level game summary. I know you got into it a little bit, but what you got?
Yeah, man. Just a tough game. I guess what I would say is I was really pleased with obviously the way we started. Um, the game overall, came out, didn't let the fact that our first drive, not producing deter us, right? Came right back, even though they scored early. Ironically, they put up a stat that the last time Georgia scored on their first drive was 2020, and I was like, "Ooh, good omen," because obviously we won that game.
If only.
Uh, yeah, right. And so, despite that, we come out, we don't get anything our first drive, but then our next drive we come right back down, even the game up. Defense starts holding, right after that first drive really well, obviously through the entirety of that second half until a very unfortunate sequence of events to end the half, but we won't go into that tonight. But
Right.
ultimately, I mean, I think, when you look at the combination of how things transpired, it certainly was far from perfect, but like, I like how the offense responded to things, right? When Georgia did do something, when the defense did give up, the offense responded really well. Like in every case, I feel like they didn't always have the ability to, kind of bring us ahead, but they did really well at responding when we needed them to. And I felt that helped energize the defense and keep them motivated and moving, which was good. So overall, I'm very pleased with the way that the team played. I thought execution was pretty good for the most part. Definitely had some slips, but it was pretty sound overall. Um, yeah, I mean, just a tough game, and then obviously, you had some officiating at the end there that was tough. Again, things we'll talk about later, but ultimately, yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow. I will say this though, Georgia on that last drive, a couple of times, really key execution where they nailed it, we didn't, and that is.
Yeah.
A credit to them. We try to give credit where credit's due on this show. I obviously am not a fan of theirs, of course, but they did execute in the clutch where we a couple times did not. And that is to their credit, and that is what ultimately got them, the win at the end, regardless of anything else. What put him in that situation is another conversation, but at the end of the day, that's what got him the win. So ultimately, I guess that's where we have to leave it. We don't have much choice, do we? So, how about you?
Oh,
What's
we're going
your
to
uh,
leave it.
what's
All
your
right.
high level takeaways there? Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
we're
that
gonna leave
right.
it. I'm gonna leave it, or I'm gonna pitch it. However you want to,
Yeah,
in
pitch
reference
something.
to keep it or pitch it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what? I'm probably gonna be overly critical to a lot of people, but and again, Georgia had 2 weeks to prepare. Georgia had a bye week, just like they always do when they face us. We have a bye
yep,
week,
yep.
and so we have 2 weeks. We understand that the program, uh, shake up, Billy Napier, no longer. Fine, get it. You got 2 weeks to get healthy, get your head on straight, and I don't think. And this is what's tough for me, B, because if I'm in a situation like this, knowing how we feel as fans, fanatics, lovers of the game, it's tough for me to think that a player playing in this type of game, this type of environment, would need to get hype for this game. I say that to say I did not particularly like the way that I saw body language a lot of times. I didn't like the way that we came out. Yes, I agree. Great point. Georgia comes out, first drive, score, you go crap. The way it responded was very good. Because when you look at the difference of what happened, I know in past Florida Georgia games, right? You've got a close game, then going into the second, ending the second quarter, you've got, oh, look, they just scored
Yeah,
10 points, put the game out of reach. Or at the end of the third
yeah,
quarter, you have a fumble followed by an interception, followed by a questionable call, officiating wise. And then, hey, guess what? They're up by 17. There's nothing we can do. So there's different things that have happened over the years that you look at that and go, oh, in this game, I'm not sure exactly what to pinpoint it on, other than the fact of, I will say the E word, and you said it well. Georgia executed in the times in which they need to. I thought that we could overcome some of those
hmm
things, but we just couldn't because we couldn't execute ourselves. It's tough to lose the football, right, on two fourth downs. Now, again, was it the right play call? Or I'm sorry, was it the right call to go for it? Sure. But as far as the actual play itself, and the lack of fight on those fourth downs, I have an issue with that, right? I saw the emotion come out of Trey Wilson at the end of the game. A lot of emotion, and rightfully so. Had a career game, had a great game, great bounce back for him.
yeah,
We
yeah.
needed him,
Great game.
and right, and I feel like some of that was wasted. So for me, a game of missed execution, a game of missed opportunities, a game of another lackluster performance on the offensive side of the football as far as what could have been, what should have been. And it was tough that we did not see the variation, at least that we thought we could see going into, past page 5 of the playbook, maybe going to page 8, page 9, maybe
Yeah,
our favorite plays from
yeah.
13 or
Maybe,
14.
maybe.
So,
Yeah, yeah. We
so yeah,
definitely didn't get enough of that for sure.
that's what was tough. So, anyways, that's that. All right, B. Moving on. Let's look at some key stats. What do you have as far as from a key stat standpoint tonight?
Yeah, so I got two for you. Number one is going to be our third down conversion percentage once again in this game. Not good, not good. We went 2 for 11. So for those scoring at home, that's neighborhood of 18%. I'm doing the math in my head there. Obviously sub 20, right? So that's not good. It's not been a good third down converting percentage team this year. Georgia, however, has been really bad at allowing third down conversions, right? They've been poor. They were ranked like 94th or something in what they were allowing on third down, and we go 2 for 11. That's not good, right? So that shows that we've still got some serious concerns on the offensive side of the ball, regardless of the fact that maybe we did do some things that were better in this game. I think that they were more revolving around play calling, timing, right? Choice of when to call what, as opposed to what we were actually calling. I'll get more into this when we go through our full analysis. I've got some thoughts that I definitely want to air in regards to that. I won't break it down any further than that. But yeah, third down conversion, not good for us at all. And I think that was a key. The other key stat I'll call out is actually relating back to something we called for, not as a necessarily key to the game, but the Sims key to the game. We said to win, we needed to keep them under 133, 134, 135 areas, somewhere right in there, right? Keep them under that 70% total of their average in order to win. They got 133. 8. And it was close, but it called it. It nailed that number. I think, if we had kept him under that, potentially, I mean, obviously, maybe not quite, but the point is, it was, it pegged it. Really, really got that right on the nails. So, and when we were doing a good job, right, before Bowens gets that 36-yard touchdown run, they're under 100 yards rushing, and we're winning.
Oh, yeah.
So, it really did a good job kind of identifying that if they couldn't move the ball on the ground and kind of wear us down there, we had a really good shot there. So I think that really goes to show that there was a solid point there in that number. And I think that's really your overall key stat of the game, is them getting over that threshold they needed to get over. They did it. They win. I mean, that's really kind of what it came down to in the end. So yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad, obviously, but yeah, ultimately that was the nail in the coffin there. What do you got? Key stats.
Yeah, agreed. No, great. Two great call outs there. Really like that. For me, I'm going to take a different twist.
Sure.
I think the interesting thing about what we did not do is pass the football bit. Now, here's the thing. At the end of the day, when you look at Trey Wilson and what he did, he had a career day. Absolute career day, 9 receptions, 121 yards, and his long being that 40, of course. So you take that away, you're like, okay, well, what else do we have, right? Total passing yards, 166. 160. So we couldn't even break 200 passing yards. Go back to what you mentioned earlier, B, regarding, what was it? We were talking about offline. Oh, yeah. Routes, passing concepts, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to leave that. So anyways, 166 passing yards, pedestrian-esque. And the second thing I'll call out, we got beat again on time of possession.
We did.
Georgia, 32-25.
First half was brutal.
Oh, yeah. Right. First half was by what? Almost 11?
Almost 11-minute difference. Yeah.
Right. So we came back a little bit. Georgia 32-25 to our 27-35. But clearly, we needed to hold on to the ball more for those longer, more methodical, chess-like drives. Could not do it. Okay. Yep. Outside of that, moving on. Impact play. I know we had a few impact plays, but your impact play, B, what you got?
Yeah, this one's tough, honestly, because there's really actually quite a few to choose from, surprisingly, considering the way this game ended up and everything else. I think it's actually going to have to be, man. I had something picked out in advance on this, but I'm vacillating on it now. I guess I'll stick with it. You know what? No, I'm gonna change from it. I'm actually gonna give this one to the run from DJ after we get the penalty to go 2nd and 20, and we go 5 wide, and he actually runs for 26 yards and gets the first down. I'm actually gonna give it to that play because I think the potential of him becoming a running threat again for the rest of the year, if teams see that as a possibility now because of what he was put on film this year, I think you potentially open up the running game for the rest of the season. I know it's only 4 games left. I know the care factor might not be there for everybody, but for us it is, right? So I think if you look at this and what we need to do, winning three of these games at least to be bowl eligible, I think putting him on film as a successful runner, right, in certain situations, you change potentially the dynamic there. And so I'm going to say the impact play is actually that run, because that was something we called for from the beginning of the season as being a part of his game, right? And we haven't really seen it. So putting that on film and getting teams to potentially fear that again, right, changes the dynamic of what you can potentially do, right? And it manipulates what teams can do. You can use his run. You can use that play call with a run fake of him run faking and then throw it, right? It opens up more things for you in the game. So I'm actually going to change to that. It was going to be Trey's touchdown, but I actually am going to change it to that because even though to the game, maybe it wasn't as impactful, but I think it's the impact play overall because of what it can potentially set up for you moving forward through the rest of the season, even though I realize that's only 4 games. So
Yeah.
I'm going to pivot there. I just, you know, as impactful as that touchdown was early from Trey, I just think that overall that run means more. So there you go.
In the SEC, where the runs mean more. Gotcha. Um, sorry, I had to. Um, so good call. I like that because yeah, it was great to see. Hey, guess what? They're not going to load the box. We've got some opportunity here.
Yep.
That was actually a correct decision made by DJ tonight. Very good because I might scold him on Monday night. No, we'll see. No, but
yes,
Mike.
no, that's fair. That's fair because of what I get what you're saying there, but on that one, I just like what it does. But I know where
Absolutely.
I know where you're going with that.
Absolutely. Mine, believe it or not, is going to be going for it on 4th and 1, right? The second time. And here's the thing, folks. You're up 20-17. It's a rivalry game. We're under 6 minutes to go. You absolutely go for it. However, I question the actual play that was called because, again, what variation did we see in today's game, especially what we had heard in the past couple of weeks? But outside of that, it was tough to go for 4th and 1 like that and see our offensive line go flat, to see the lack of push that occurred. And not to mention, I felt like you give Gunnar Stockton and Kirby and Bobo another opportunity, and you know Kirby's gonna look at his guys and go, "Well, this is where we put them away, right here. This is what we do. Gonna ram it down their throats. Game's gonna be over. All right, game's over right here." So, on that basis, that was the worst thing that could ever happen. Oh, thanks. That was one of the worst things that could ever happen because the way that they started that drive, they started with such momentum, such purpose, and such push off the ball that you knew that if we couldn't get even you know, if we couldn't get a stop and make them, put them in a 3rd and long situation, then yeah, there's going to be an issue, and there clearly was. So, anyways, mine's going to be going for it on 4th and 1 and missing it in the 4th quarter. All right, so let's take a look.
It's a good call. Good call.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, air gone, whatever. Let's look at player of the game, B. Who is your player of the game?
Yeah, this is tough, man. I actually have 2 kind of really top candidates for this, and I want to give them both their flowers, but I know I can only pick one, so I'll go with Trey. You know, obviously outstanding game from him. You know, really high level stuff here. The numbers are 9 receptions, 121 yards, 13.4 average, and 1 TD. Obviously, as you mentioned, career game. I'm not sure, you know, if those are. I don't know if it's a career high in catches. It's close, I think. It's, I believe, a career high in yards. You know, so really outstanding game. Obviously, he was everywhere we needed him to be in this game, and I thought really nice job of using him as a receiver, not as a gadget player. What a concept, you know. Amazing what happens there. That is definitely, you know, hats off to this interim staff and doing something that actually makes sense with a player of his caliber, as opposed to what we've been doing with him for the past 2 seasons when he was healthy, or season and a half, whatever. So I'll give it to him, but I mean, I had a very close second here. So yeah, he's gonna be my impact player of the game. Obviously, two great catches early on, one for the touchdown, one over the middle of the field that was outstanding, and ended up leading to a field goal on that drive. Really great stuff. And just solid all night, really. I mean, had a little lull there in the middle of the game, but picked it back up near the end. And yeah, just the great day, outstanding, and love to see it. So yeah, that's he's gonna take it for me. But again, it was razor thin. So I'll definitely find a way to get the other one on my list into my mentions on Monday. Who you got for impact?
Okay. So you're not going to mention your runner up? Okay.
No, I'll play it the way I'm supposed to. I'll do it right.
Touche. Well, in that case, I vacillated between 2. And I actually called this player out earlier on the season, like, what's going on? What's the deal, right? So both players are on defense. The first player led our team in total tackles tonight, but I'm actually going to give it to the person who came in second in total tackles. 9 total tackles,
Yes.
four solo, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, and that is Mr. George Gums. And the
He was
reason why
my
I'm going to
runner-up, so I love it. You got it. You got it.
really. Well,
Yes.
holy
Yes.
smokes. Now, we've been calling for Gums. We've been looking for Gums. We've been asking for Gums. We've been playing the Where's Gums game. And again, he's been banged up. He's had the leg injury. He's had the ankle. He's been trying to rehab it, trying to come back. He's playing, 70, 80%. This is probably the most complete game I've seen from him all season since he came
For
back from
sure.
injury.
For
Seeing him in the
sure.
backfield, seeing him stuff gaps, seeing him do whatever he needed to do to make an impact. And it was absolutely amazing to see him be free and do whatever he needed to do tonight. So again, could have made even a bigger impact, but just to see this type of performance out of him, considering what he's put on film the first part of the season, just great to see him back, and hopefully that'll give him a little boost of confidence, and that'll swag in his step coming back and to finish out the season strong. These next 4 games here.
Yeah, I really
all
hope
right.
so. I totally agree with you there. So now that you said it, I'm going to chime in because that was my guy.
Yeah.
You mentioned something earlier about lack of energy. That was a guy that had no lack of energy. He was hyped the entire
Confirmed.
game. Absolutely killing it, and what a great effort. And yeah, man, this is what we expected from him all season.
Yeah.
So I got to assume that you're right, that he has been dinged up, because otherwise I can't explain why all of a sudden tonight you see the Gums we thought we were going to get from week 1 and haven't since maybe week 1. I think week 1, I would say we saw it pretty well, but then since then it hasn't been there. So it has to be that something happened and he's been fighting something, or there's just something inexplicable, because that guy's motor is always running and it just hasn't been there this year. So I think you hit the nail on the head that he's just been battling something on and off. He missed the game here or there. So I think that's absolutely it. And I think you're seeing him healthy again now, and you're really seeing the fruits of that, which is phenomenal, because man, he was a force tonight. He was everywhere. It was great to see.
Correct, and oddly enough, this is a side correlation, just a sidestep that to piggyback. So Tyreek Sapp, he's had games this year, 2 tackles, 3 tackles. Then in this game, Tyreek Sapp had 6 tackles.
Yep.
Okay.
Interesting, right?
So
interesting.
Remember the comment you made a few pods ago regarding Sapp not really having a presence because he lost his running mate, or he doesn't have as much, right? When you look at attention, they're double teaming him, they're chipping him, and right. So I thought that was very interesting. But
for sure.
But I digress. Either way, well, B, let's go ahead and wrap it up, and you sign us off. What else do you want to finish off with tonight?
Yeah, man. So the only thing I'm going to say here, and we'll get into it more on Monday, obviously, but a lot of controversy here. I just saw something pop up on the catch, right, or not catch from J. Michael, and you mentioned our lack of passing yards that would have been drastically helped had that been ruled catch, which certainly and I think it was. Well, I shouldn't say if you do for sure, but I definitely do. We'll obviously talk about it more on Monday. Very disappointing there. I understand there's some, delicacies with the way those replays work, and we'll get into all that. We're going to have plenty to discuss with that on Monday. Actually, some interesting insights to share from something the ACC is doing. But again, things that we'll talk about on Monday. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, very, very interesting transparency that the ACC is doing. Hats off to them, actually. So we'll talk about all of those things come Monday. But what I would say about it is this. What really hurts about that, because I do believe it was a catch, is not that I'm going to sit here and say, well, if we catches it, we win the game. No, I don't know, right?
Sure.
We're down. I don't know if we win the game, but it costs us an opportunity to see if we could have come back and won the game. We don't know. We are robbed of an opportunity that I absolutely believe, based on the video evidence, we were entitled to have. And that is difficult to swallow. A lot of people said last year when Lagway went out, we would have won the game, this, that, and the other. I don't know if we would have won the game, but we were robbed of the opportunity. Now, in that case, it was by injury, right? It was by Everbank Field, which once again claimed how many guys tonight on both sides of the ball? Thank God we're not playing there for 2 years. Oh my God, I hate that place. But it's just brutal. But ultimately, what I would say to this is, it really stinks a lot when you lose the opportunity to do something and it's just taken away from you. Right now, sometimes it's just beyond your control completely, as is the case with injury. Well, I'm not sure it's totally beyond your control because of that field.
Right.
But in general, we'll call it beyond your control. But when it isn't beyond your control or isn't beyond some people's control, right, then it really feels like a very difficult pill to swallow. And that's the situation I'm in. So again, we'll talk more about it Monday, obviously in much more detail. But ultimately, that's this thing that I have right now from this game, and the one that I'm really struggling with as I, kind of wrap my head around things tonight and into tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it is what it is. We mentioned Georgia's execution, and that does play a factor down the stretch for sure. But, what would their execution have been like if they were in a different situation, if they were losing instead of winning, right? What would they have had to execute then if it was on Gunner instead of on the running backs and the tight ends and the offensive line? That changes the dynamic. So again, it's a million different things and we don't know the outcome, but I would have liked to see that movie instead of the movie that I got to see. So there you go.
Oh, yeah.
I'll leave it at that. Any closing thoughts from you on summing this thing up before we sign off?
Yeah, I think that's very well said, because obviously you can go back and play semantics and say, oh, well, if this happens, then this
Right.
happens. No, not
Right,
that's
know.
not directly the case. We really don't know. But I think it's well said to know that the fact that there are opportunities missed, and all an opportunity allows you to do is have another chance to do something, to put you in a position to win, to put you in a position, or it could have just confirmed the fact of we didn't deserve to win, right? There's that aspect of it too.
Could have done that too.
Right. So
Don't know.
again, I love what you said there, and it's not affirming that if this were, it's not like the if and only if factor in mathematics, right? It's like this happens. Oh yeah, we win the game. Not at all. It's just the fact that the opportunities, it's tough when you don't get them.
You just don't want those chances. You just don't want those chances taken, right? You just don't want those taken from you. You'd rather let them play out and see what happens, right? And that's why we talk about officiating, right? That's why we evaluate it the way we do, because it's a part of the game, and we want to make that a part of our analysis, right? So there you go. All right.
And exactly,
sorry, didn't mean to talk over you there. We had a little delay.
You're absolutely fine, and it's especially tough when it's taken from you from a multi-billion league with nickel and dime officiating. Yes, I'm quoting the one Josh Pate. Thank you, Joshua Pate, for that lovely rendition or soliloquy that you had weeks ago on officiating. And B, I love what you said about the ACC. We'll talk about that more on Monday night. But for now, missed opportunities, I guess, is what we can title this Florida-Georgia game as. Sign us out, my man.
Yes. Well said. Well said. I like it. Missed opportunities in one way or another. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, yes, please join us Monday. We've mentioned it about 20 times. So we will bring you our full analysis of this game on Monday evening. If you hadn't gotten that memo.
What was that again?
Monday evening? Looking forward to it. So yeah, Monday. So Monday for our full reaction. But for now, this has been First Bites. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please click like. If you'd like to hear more, please click subscribe on whatever platform you're on. And with that, wherever you are, whenever you may be listening, thanks for taking the time, and we will see you around, Gator Nation.